The Canon R5 and R6 were both released at the same time in the summer of 2020, but seeing how the R5 is considerably more expensive than the R6, what are the main differences, is the price justified, and which one of these cameras should you consider getting?
Hey man.
Snap.
We really do everything together, don't we? We really do everything together, don't we?
Hello, welcome to the channel. My name is Kai, and I asked you guys a couple of weeks ago what you wanted to see for my next set of review videos, and this was the second most requested video, so that's what we're talking about today. And just a little reminder, if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, make sure that you do and that you hit that little notification bell so that you can be involved and vote on the next set of videos to see more of the content that you want to see on this channel. So let's get on with the R5 and R6 comparisons. So very quickly jumping into the Canon R6 and R5, looking at the top button placement. Straight away on the R5, you'll notice you have an LCD screen where you can check your modes and you can scroll through your different settings. On the R6, you have a scroll dial, which is very familiar to a lot of people coming from other Canon camera bodies. Now, the majority of the button placement on these cameras is the same. So your on and off switch will be here. You've got your record button, your shutter button, your scroll wheel. They've also put back the original scroll wheel that you had from the 5D series. So if you're coming from a 5D DSLR camera, you'll be happy that they've put that back. And also the joystick here. This was a slide pad on the original EOS R that many people weren't very happy with, and Canon have realized that and they've put that little joystick back on there for you. Canon's basically presented two different offerings in the way of button placement on the R6 and the R5, hopefully to cater for the differing audiences, but for the most part these camera bodies feel very solid and sturdy. They've got that comfortable rubber lining that you can grip firmly on. They definitely feel robust, and Canon's taken a lot of time and thought looking at older models to see what they can do to incorporate the best bits into these two camera bodies. So one of the most obvious differences between the R5 and R6 is the sensor size. The R5 has a 45 megapixel sensor versus the 20 megapixel sensor of the R6. But what does that mean quality-wise? Well, more pixels can mean more detail, but the size of the sensor is crucial. And actually having less pixels means that you can have larger pixels on the sensor, and this means that they can hold more light in relation to the noise that's created by the sensor through its operation. And this means a higher ratio in favor of the signal, producing a cleaner image. And that's why you have larger ISO values on the R6. You have 100 to 102,400, expandable up to 204,800, whereas the R5 has ISO values that go from 100 to 51,200, expandable up to 102,400. So despite having less megapixels, the image quality on the R6 shouldn't be that discernible unless you're printing up your images to poster or banner size. And here is a good place to add that if you haven't done so already, don't forget to add yourself to the Kai Creative Facebook and Instagram feeds, where you can stay up to date with all of our photography sessions, video productions, short films, camera reviews, and other creative happenings. Battery life rating for the R6 is 360 shots, while the R5 is a little less at 320 shots. They both have dual card slots and can both take SD cards, but the R5 also has a CF Express card slot that runs at higher speeds and is necessary for 8K filming. Another large noticeable difference between these two cameras is the video offering. The R6 does 120 frames per second at 1080, it does 4K at 60 frames per second. The R5 offers 120 frames per second at 4K, but it also has an 8K filming option, which is incredible for this type of camera. No doubt you've heard about the overheating issues here, and Canon does seem to be dripping releases that deal with this and allow longer and longer recording times, which some people have suggested has been a built-in software limiting factor from the beginning. So who should get an R6 and why? Well, the R6 is a good option for those who have an older full-frame DSLR or the original EOS R and can't really justify spending the money on the R5. It has the dual slots to keep the pro photographers happy. It has 4K at 60 frames per second, which is certainly enough for many content creators and video producers out there. You've got the new Digic X processor for lightning fast reactions, the advanced auto-focusing system, the 5-axis IBIS. Definitely a good recommendation for those needing it for work with those dual card slots and serious hobbyists. And even though it's only got a 20 megapixel sensor, really the difference is not going to be seen unless you're looking to create massive posters or banners. So who should get the R5 and why? Well, definitely seasoned professionals, someone that needs top of the range for whatever they're doing. You have all the above points from the R6 with the addition of that massive 45 megapixel sensor, as well as 4K at 120 frames per second, and of course that 8K filming capability. But remember that you will need a machine to match. There's no point getting this camera for the 4K 120 FPS and 8K filming capabilities and then trying to edit it on an old, slow machine. It just won't work. So this camera is a big investment, not just for the camera, but also you need to consider the cost of the CF Express memory cards and maybe investing in more storage space and even upgrading your PC or Mac just to be able to handle those files. So there's definitely lots to think about before you purchase the R5. So what do you guys think? Which one of these are you looking to get a hold of and why? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. As always, if you found today's video useful, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. And also, if you haven't done so already, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and hit that little bell for notifications. So that's it from me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. All that's left to say is stay creative, stay safe, imagine, implement, and inspire. And I'll see you next time on Kai Creative.
Amen.
Snap.
We really do everything together, don't we?
Just like holding these really awkwardly with like the sensors on the whole time. That's better. Should have done that from the beginning.